welcome to Cooking with Vlad. Today we will be making some grilled cheese and some eggs. To cook the eggs, the ingredients you need are eggs and butter. If you want to get a little bit spicy, salt and pepper. You'll also be needing a pan, but we will not be eating the pan. First, you want to turn on the oven on the right one. Put it on a lower setting at first. Take your handy knife and cut a big slab of the butter. Also, it looks like I turned on the wrong stove. You see, I'm very qualified for this. It already smells like something's burning, and I'm not even cooking anything yet. While we're waiting for the butter to melt, we're also letting the cheese sticks thaw so that we can actually make grilled cheese. So, yeah, the butter's melting. How are you guys doing today? Doing good? That's great. Alright, as the butter melts onto the pan, we can take our salt and salt the bottom of the pan thoroughly. And also take pepper and pepper it up so that's nice and spicy. Once the butter is melted, what I like to do is crack my eggs with a knife like this, so it makes a nice clean cut. I'll demonstrate it again. Clean chop will make a nice little thing, and it goes straight into the pan. Make sure there's no little egg crummy, like little egg shell things in the eggs, because that doesn't taste really good, and by personal experience. Throw away the eggshells, and what I like to do is I like to break the egg yolks so that it's more of a, I don't know, thorough, like an omelet type of egg. Oh look, you can see my mustache. What we want to do is put it on a little bit of a higher setting, because you don't want to be sitting here for 10 hours cooking eggs. Jason Derulo, Jason Derulo, Jason Derulo. As it starts to harden, what I like to do is cut it down the middle and separate it like that. Then what I like to do is fold it on top of itself to make a kind of omelet shaped thing. I'll explain why this is important in a second. Then you can start to flip it. While you're doing this, you can also salt it more and pepper it up more. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to put some more butter in here so that I can lather it up in butter. When you believe that is thoroughly cooked, then you take your plate and you scoop it onto the plate, all the bits. Now you can rest the pan aside. You want to turn off the stove and just kind of put this aside since we're still going to use this for the grilled cheese. Now we're on to the grilled cheese. These are the bread, the cheese, and a lot of butter. Now since I have cheese sticks, I'm going to have to actually cut it into thin kind of stripes. This is so I can place it on the pan and have it melt. Alright, once you have your cheese cut up, we go down to the stove. Alright, yet again, you guessed it, we get a nice, thick slab of butter. Stick it right down on the stove, on the pan. Since it's already hot from before, you can let it just kind of melt. At first, while the butter is still melting, we put our first slab of butter, and we put it where like some of the butter has melted. Now what you want to do is make sure that you pour all the butter so that it gets all on top of the bread like this. You can also lift it up so that it gets all on the bread. Alright, once all the butter is on that piece of bread, you take another slab of butter. It doesn't have to be as big as the last one since there's already some on the pan. Yet again, take your piece of bread and place it where some of the butter has been. And then let the butter melt on the pan. And then what you want to do is just pour all on that piece of bread. Make sure it's all nice and coated in that butter. Alright, next we're actually putting the cheese on the bread. Make sure to put it evenly along each bread. If you feel like there's too much on the piece of bread and you still have some left, you can actually put this on top of it. Make sure during this whole time that the stove is on the lower side, so it's not cooking too fast, so you can actually complete some of these actions. Now I do have all the cheese on here, except I do have some left, and I'm going to do something with that a little later. Next, you want to fold it. You can do this with the spatula or with your hands if you want to. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to do. Just fold it over. It's going to be super soggy, and this is when you start to turn it up to the highest you can. Take your spatula and make sure that you fold it over completely so that's nice and folded and not sticking out. Now as you have it on high, this is where it starts to actually make that crispy outside of the grilled cheese. Now that we have the leftover cheese, we actually want to place this on top of the bread that we have. You can put it on both sides if you like, but I'm just putting it on one side of the top of the bread. And then what you can do, you can take it and quickly flip it over, both of them, so that the cheese is on the bottom and it's melting. When you think you cooked it for a little bit, you can flip it over again on both sides. The beauty about this is that you can keep on flipping it over until you think it's ready on both sides, so you can constantly be checking. I do want to demonstrate that you see the cheese that's on top of the bread, that gives it this little bit of a crustiness on the outside, like that. My dog came into the room. Also, you see on one side it's like thoroughly cooked and has that nice crispiness on the outside. At this point, when you think it's about to be completely cooked, you can start to turn it off since the pan still has heat on it. Do one little flip over again and you can see that it's nice and cooked. On this one also. Take it off the pan and you can put it straight onto your plate. Look at that. And make sure you clean it a little bit afterwards, the pan. Whew, nice and steamy. Alright guys, so yeah, I'm going to enjoy this meal because this is the first meal of my day and it's 1 a.m. Yeah, this is what quarantine's doing to me. Alright, see you guys later, and if you guys have any suggestions on what I should do, like a skill that I should attempt, like cooking or cleaning or like drawing, leave it down in the comments. And I will attempt to do that as the best I can without any prior knowledge. Bye guys, and leave a like, I think. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.